It's Monday, September 2nd, 2024, and this is another episode of X Talks, the daily show, Monday through Friday, where we discuss trending topics on X, give you a brief background, I give you my opinions on it, and then you drop your comments and let me know what you think. Now, September 2nd may not seem like a significant day to most people around the world, but if you're an American, it's the first Monday of the month, and you know what that means. We're going to be talking about Labor Day. That's right, the national American holiday where we celebrate our unions and our history and rights to be preserved for American workers. So, it is trending number one on X, and I thought it would be no better time than to talk about Labor Day, give you a brief history on it. It's always nice to refresh why we celebrate certain things and to keep the traditions alive and to have an honest and open conversation about what's going on. So, I have pulled up here from the U.S. Department of Labor, which we all trust the government, right? The history of Labor Day. So, we're going to run through that real quick here. So observe the first Monday in September. Labor Day is an annual celebration of the social and economic achievements of American workers. The holiday is rooted in the late 19th century when labor activists pushed for a federal holiday to recognize the many contributions workers have made to America's strength, prosperity, and well-being. So early adopters. Before it was a federal holiday, Labor Day was recognized by labor activists in individual states. After municipal ordinances were passed in 1885 and 1886, a movement developed to secure legislation. New York was the first state to introduce a bill, but Oregon was the first to pass a law recognizing Labor Day on February 21st, 1887. During 1887, four more states, Colorado, Massachusetts, New Jersey, and New York, passed laws creating a Labor Day holiday. By the end of the decade, Connecticut, Nebraska, and Pennsylvania all followed suit. By 1894, 23 more states had adopted the holiday, and on June 28, 1894, Congress passed an act making the first Monday in September of each year a legal holiday. So, ready to get confused a little bit? Because I've read this a couple times and I'm still kind of confused. McGuire versus McGuire. Who founded Labor Day? Who first proposed the holiday for workers? It's not entirely clear, but two workers can make a solid claim to the founder of Labor Day title. Some records show that in 1882, Peter J. McGuire, General Secretary of the Brotherhood of Carpenters and Joiners and a co-founder of the American Federation of Labor, suggested setting aside a day for a general holiday for the laboring classes to honor those who from rude nature have delved and carved all the grandeur we behold. But Peter McGuire's place in Labor Day history has not gone unchallenged. Many believe that machinist Matthew McGuire, not Peter McGuire, founded the holiday. Really, they got to have the same name spelled differently, competing against who created Labor Day? Come on. Recent research seems to support the contention that Matthew McGuire, later the secretary of Local 344 of the International Association of Machinists in Paterson, New Jersey, proposed the holiday in 1882 while serving as secretary of the Central Labor Union in New York. According to the New Jersey Historical Society, after President Cleveland signed the law creating a national Labor Day, the Paterson Morning Call published an opinion piece stating that, quote, the souvenir pen should go to Alderman Matthew McGuire of this city, who is the undisputed author of Labor Day as a holiday, end quote. Both McGuire and McGuire attended the country's first Labor Day parade in New York City that year. I imagine that Spider-Man meme where they're both pointing at each other as the creators of Labor Day. That's what I envisioned when I read that article. The first Labor Day parade, September 5th, 1882. The first Labor Day holiday was celebrated on Tuesday, September 5th, 1882 in New York City, in accordance with the plans of the Central Labor Union. The Central Labor Union held its second Labor Day holiday just a year later, on September 5th, 1883. By 1894, 23 more states had adopted the holiday, and on June 28th, 1894, President Grover Cleveland, shout out Buffalo, signed a law making the first Monday in September of each year a national holiday. A nationwide holiday. We're not going to read any of this. That's the end of it. So that's just a brief history of what the Labor Day holiday is all about. Now, like I say, I always like to give my opinion and kind of the counter idea so we can discuss here. So with Labor Day, I think with a lot of holidays that we observe in the United States, sometimes we forget the reason why we're celebrating it. So, something that I wanted to do today is talk about this because we have to understand our roots. You can't get disconnected from your country's past. You got to take it with you, with the good and the bad, right? It's what molds us. So, our country's workers were treated very unfairly for a long time, and this is, in my opinion, a necessary step in the evolution of our country. It created the work week, vacations, paid time, all that stuff. Now, there are some negative aspects to labors that some argue, or to unions that some argue now. So, first of all, political influence. You have unions that vote party lines. So some have said that unions the pendulum has basically almost swung too far to the other side. We have situations now where we are seeing unions have a little bit too much political influence, like the United Auto Workers Union, for instance. And also a criticism of unions as well is that they create a lot of rigidity in the marketplace, with strikes and things like that. So it doesn't allow companies much flexibility in the way of their operations. So, if we demand a higher wage, we strike, company shuts down, and they're almost at the whim of the union. So, that's another argument against unions, saying that, they have a little bit too much power, and not everybody is in a union. So the impact of being in a union versus a non-union employee can really have different benefits to the benefit of the union employee, but much to the chagrin of the non-union employee as well. So, I think there is a delicate balance we need to strike with unions, and this day and age, sometimes I think we get caught up in how easy we really have it. Yes, no one really wants to go to work 40 hours a week, right? No one really wants to sit behind a computer. I mean, I've seen the meme a million times that basically just being a manager now is just sending emails and having meetings all day. You're not really doing any work. You're just talking about talking about talking about talking. But you got to roll your sleeves up. You got to be proud of what you do, and you have to, contribute to society. At least that's my opinion. So if you really love what you do, you don't work a day in your life, right? That's the cliche thing you always hear. How many people actually get to do that? Not many, right? I know many of you have passions outside of what you are doing for your typical 9 to 5 or whatever hours you're working, but keep in mind that job does supply the money for you to pursue those endeavors outside of that career. And never say never. Maybe you'll get there. Maybe you'll get to that point where your passion is your source of income. But until you get to that point, whatever you do it well, do it hard, and be proud of it. You know what I mean? So I think sometimes in today's day and age, we get lost in the sense that, I don't want to do this, therefore it's evil, and I'm forced to do it. Well, not really. We're in the United States of America. We can figure out ways to make money. There's very creative ways that you can get money. If you ever watch Shark Tank, these stories are wildly, they're impressive. They strike a chord with you when you watch them. You have people that quit their day job to go live on, a couch of their friend, to work 24 hours a day to start their own business. It's not impossible. It's difficult, but without hard work, you'll get really great rewards. So I think that we have to not lose sight that no one owes you anything. That's what I think I'm getting at with all this, is no one really deserves to just work minimally and get max pay. You know what I mean? No one deserves to I go to my job 9 to 5, therefore I deserve a 6-figure salary. Well, you gotta earn it. Prove to your employer that you deserve to be paid, or paid for your time in that company, what you're worth. Prove what you're worth. A lot of times you hear people say, work for the job that you want, not that you have. Going above and beyond to prove that you deserve what you get is not a bad thing, folks. Remember that. I hate the idea that I hear a lot of people say when they're like, well, I'm not going to do it. I'm not paid for that. Well, okay, then you're just going to be stuck where you're at forever. Go above and beyond. Prove that you're the hardest worker in the room, And I can guarantee you it's going to get you places. You may not even know where it's going to take you, but it will take you places. So be the hardest worker in the room. It is, and again, it's this yin and the yang of the universe. You know, there is a place for unions, and there is a place to celebrate the fruits of our labor and how far we've come from the child labor days and the 6-day workday weeks and no vacations and all that stuff. But on the other end of it, remember, no one really owes you anything. It's on you to go out there, prove yourself, go to work hard, and be proud of what you do, you know? So on this Labor Day, take the time to enjoy the day off. Celebrate the fact that we are not, I know it's crazy, I sound like a crazy person, right? Saying the 40-hour work week is the word, you know, it's not the worst thing in the world, because some people are like, it's career suicide. Listen, you choose to go to work. I know you have to go to work for most people, but at the same time, you're choosing where you can work. You can work anywhere. So figure it out. Choose a goal that you want to have and work towards that goal. Take that mindset with you when you go to work every day, and be grateful for the fact that people for hundreds of years before you have fought for you to have the rights that you have right now in the United States of America while you're at work. You're standing on the shoulders of giants. Remember that. This country is great. Be proud of what you do and work your tail off, because this truly is the land of opportunity. And I know at least I'm proud to be an American and to have the benefits of what our forefathers and all our families have done for us to get us to this point. So that's it for today. Hope you enjoyed this brief history on Labor Day. And in the description or in the comments below, let me know what you think. You could probably disagree with, I'm sure a lot of you disagree with what I just said. I welcome it. So please let me know what your thoughts are. And that's it for today. I don't know if I'm going to be able to create content on X Talk every day this week. I'm traveling to Buffalo on Wednesday, Buffalo, New York, where I'm from. I run to the Buffalo Bills home game every first game, every home opener. So I run 17 miles. I live stream it. So you got to make sure to subscribe to this channel here. Set alerts, because I'll be going live Sunday morning real early. Hop in the stream, say hello. And I'll definitely be making one of these tomorrow. So until tomorrow, I'm Goldie here in Dallas, Texas, and I will see you for another X Talks. Thanks for watching.